Hey, JK here. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me. For day 24, we head up to the city of brotherly love and talk about the Philadelphia Phillies, who were second in the NL East with a record of 92-70 and a positive 81 run differential. The category leaders were pretty spread out. There were some newbies. There were some people you would expect. There were some people that I was not expecting. Let's go ahead and get to them. Most at-bats, Trey Turner leads the lineup. You know, that makes sense. Most runs, home runs, walks, and strikeouts, Kyle Schwarber. Expect the strikeouts. Most hits, doubles, RBIs, and total bases, Nick Castellanos. The most triples. You didn't hear me say Trey Turner was the leader of that, so must be another very young, fast, small guy, right? Nope, Brandon Marsh, center fielder. Didn't expect him to lumber around for triples. The best batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and on-base plus slugging, Bryce Harper. Again, no surprise there. But some guy I want to lead a transition into had the most stolen bases, Bryson Stott. He had a huge improvement from 22 to 23, improving all stats, including stolen bases. He did more than double his stolen bases, while also doubling the number of stolen bases he attempted. In those improvements, he also cut down on the number of times he was caught. Stott also showed that he had popped with 15 home runs and also excellent plate discipline and plate improvement. He had 100 strikeouts in 2023. Okay, that's not great. However, he had 89 in 2022. You might think, okay, you had more strikeouts. Why is that an improvement? Well, in 2022, he had just over 460 at-bats or plate appearances. In 2023, he had over 600. So another 150 plate appearances. And in that time, in those opportunities, you only struck out 11 times. That's phenomenal. If Bryson Stott is secured a spot in the top of that lineup, he is going to improve his numbers even more. And honestly, probably could or should be the leadoff man opposed to Kyle Schwarber. Because Kyle Schwarber is the most unconventional leadoff man ever. In 2023, he led the team in strikeouts with 215. He also led the team in walks with 126. So he kind of makes it a little better. Someone else who strikes out a lot is Nick Castellanos. He struck out 185 times on the team. That was second. But he also led the team in hits. Okay, that was 65 more hits than Kyle Schwarber. He did only walk 36 times. But Schwarber's 0 stolen bases looks a lot worse as a leadoff man than Nick Castellanos' 11 stolen bases as the cleanup hitter or maybe even fifth hitter. So these two guys are the epitome of live by the sword, die by the sword. They're going to strike out a lot. They're going to get some walks, potentially a stolen base. Okay, that's strictly Nick Castellanos. But if they can get on base, if they can get up to bat, they are powerhouses in that lineup. They're only going to make it better. So you have to take the good with the bad. You know how they say. But again, live by the sword, die by the sword. Schwarber is going to probably crank another 30 or 40 home runs. He is a lock for 100 runs and 100 RBIs. Also a lock for hitting just above 200. So you have to take that. Someone else who didn't do as great as you would have expected, especially in the strikeout area, is JT Realmuto. He was the third best catcher in Major League Baseball last year, behind two very fine gentlemen, Adley Rutschman and William Contreras. However, this was unconventional for Realmuto because he had career highs in several categories, including strikeouts, also the lowest RBI total since 2016, and the fewest hits overall since 2015. Also, walks decreased to the lowest they've been since 2016, so an increase in strikeouts and a decrease in walks definitely hurt his batting average and his on-base percentage. Now, am I saying that JT Realmuto is done? Am I saying he's not one of the top catchers? Oh, no. He's on several of my teams because in JT I trust. He's in a potent lineup. He is one of the most called upon catchers in all of baseball. So, JT is going to have very limited time to play DH. He could potentially play first, but then they're going to have to put someone at catcher. And let's be real, who else, as a Phillies fan, do you want at catcher? Framing the pitches, calling the game. Especially when you have some talented pitchers. I want JT back there. Best with the best, right? So I'm definitely thinking JT is potentially on the wrong side of 30, but he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine. He's going to lead my team or teams to championships, and I'm going to be okay with it. As we talk about leading teams to championships, that's exactly what Philly thought when they were bringing Trey Turner in to add to that lineup. They thought they were going to lead the pack in home runs, lead the pack in hits, lead the pack in batting average, and lead the pack to a world championship, right? No. So something happened with Trey Turner. He had a career low batting average of 266. He also only contributed a measly 30 stolen bases. Now, that's very pedestrian. You might think, 30 bases, that's not bad. Okay, yeah, well, saying as though in 2017 and 2018, he stole 46 and 43 bases respectively. Now the bases are bigger, lanes are wider, there's more protection for the runner to steal the base, there's more restriction on the pitcher. There's no reason Trey Turner should not be hitting 40 or 50 or 60. He should be up there competing with Ruiz and Acuna for the top stolen base numbers. He's going to be hitting the wrong side of 30 just a few months into the season. Is it a decline? Is there too much expectation? Was he overhyped? Did he get the money and say, hey man, I'm good now? Or could it be the fact that he was playing in a new stadium, third time in 4 years? Maybe Washington, then LA, and now here in Philly. I don't know if that's it. I also don't know if we're going to get that 324 batting average, that 40 plus stolen bases, those 20 some odd, 30 some odd home runs. I don't know if we're going to get that from Trey Turner, but I do know we're going to get someone who's going to go out and play as much as they possibly can, as hard as they can. And his counting stats are going to eventually pan out. He's going to get you home runs. He's going to get you runs. He's going to get you RBIs. Not as many, depending on if he's not hitting the top lineup. He's going to get you stolen bases. He's going to have a respectable batting average. I think he's going to bounce back. Probably going to be hitting 280, 290, which will be great for me because I have him in a few leagues. But he can be a 266 hitter and still be in this potent lineup. So, not worried about him. I would like to see more stolen bases. But other than that, Trey Turner, he's going to be fine. Real Muto, going to be fine. Castellanos, Schwarber, they're going to be fine. Someone else is going to do fine, even though he's not going to pop out the page at you. He's not going to make you run to your waiver wire to see if he's still there, which if he is, absolutely pick him up, but he shouldn't be. He's not going to make you trade for him. Alec Bohm. This guy is not the most exciting. He was hitting like 275 last year, popped a few home runs, 20, and had a measly 97 RBIs. First and third is such a deep position, and for Bohm to be in one of my leagues, like a 20-plus round pick from last year, could be a 23rd round keeper. My gosh, 97 RBIs, I'll take that. Oh, he also threw in 4 stolen bases. Yeah, I'll take that. Talking about other stolen bases, I'll take Johan Rojas. He had 14 stolen bases in 53 games last year and just casually hit 300. He added 2 home runs. He added a couple walks. But dang, dude, you weren't even supposed to be the starter. You literally only got the job because someone got hurt. Like, and you just come up like, fine, I guess I'll play. Batting 300. Dang. So this team is going to be fine. They have stars that rock at the plate, and they also rock in the field. And that makes that pitching rotation that much more dangerous. Now, the leaders here, not as spread out, but there are a few guys. Game started was a tie. Quality starts and strikeouts went to Zach Wheeler. Wins went to Taijuan Walker. Game started and also losses went to Aaron Nola. He has the worst luck. And finally, the whip and ERA went to Christopher Sanchez. Now, he didn't pitch the required number of innings to qualify Major League Baseball-wise for the running in that. However, he did lead the team. He did start 19 games. Now, holds and saves. Gregory Soto had the most holds, and Craig Kimbrell had the most saves. He literally had to, like, wrestle the position away from multiple guys and, like, earn the fact that he was the closer for the team, even though they paid him a lot of money, brought him in, and, you know, it's not like he's one of the most decorated closers for the last 10 years, right? But in any case, Kimbrell led the team in saves. So let's get to Nola. Nola is one of those guys who you know he's good. However, if you look at his stats, at least the last few years, he's had ERAs above 4 and like a 3.68 or something like that. However, his whip throughout his entire career has never been higher than 1.31 at the end of the season. He has also pitched the last 5 seasons, minus 2020, because that doesn't count for anyone, with at least 200 strikeouts. Now, this past year, he came in just over 200 with 202, but nonetheless, he still hit 200. So he's going to get his numbers. He's going to keep teams in game. He's going to have clunkers, but don't they all? I mean, Ohtani has had clunkers. So it's nothing new for good pitchers to have those bad games, but in this lineup, I don't see any reason why Nola's not going to get double-digit wins. Hopefully he didn't have double-digit losses. But in any case, he's going to get his wins. He's going to get his strikeouts. He's going to have quality starts because this man is very, very durable. And he still looks like he's like 21, man. He's got a baby face. Now, someone else, I think, with a baby face, Zach Wheeler, even though it's all stubbly and stuff. Because I remember when he was just a tall, lanky guy in the Mets rotation. Didn't think anything of him, but whew, has he done great. Talking about being great, he started, because he was tied with the most games started last year, he started 32 games. He had 21 quality starts. So you mean to tell me there's a 65% chance that you go 6 more innings and only give up 3 runs, if that? Like, that's the most? Wow. I like my chances of winning games with you. Next pitcher we're going to talk about is Christopher Sanchez. He was only supposed to come in and have some spot starts because of injuries. However, 18 games later, leading the team in ERA and WHIP, he only pitched 99 innings. So that's also partly, to do with his durability and lack of experience. But in those 18 games, he had 7 quality starts. However, he had double the losses as wins. So, unfortunately, it didn't necessarily convert to wins, but he's not going to lose you the game. Again, those 18 starts, he only walked 16 guys, and that covered 99 innings. This upcoming season, he's going to be asked to do more. He's going to be in the starting rotation instead of coming in a little later and saying, hey, pick me, I can pitch if someone's hurt. No, he's going to be one of the guys. The last rotational piece we're going to talk about is Ranger Suarez. This fella had 22 starts last year and 11 quality starts. So 50% of the time, you're going into the 7th inning with 3 or less runs given up. That's pretty good. Now, 2023 was not as kind to Ranger Suarez as 2022, as there were less wins in less games with more losses. However, he did also lower his ERA. He lowered his WHIP. He didn't give up as many earned runs or runs overall, but the other peripherals seem to show some improvement. So Ranger Suarez is going to be another part of the rotation. So when you look, there's Nola, there's Wheeler, Suarez, talked about Chris Sanchez. I say solid group. Not great. Like, they're not going to blow you away like with perfect games every week, but I wouldn't mind that starting rotation. I mean, I'm not a Phillies fan, but as someone who has shares of bullpen or has shares of the pitching in general, I want to see them do well, right? And that pitching rotation is going to be helped by that bullpen. Now, the bullpen is not as strong as it was last year because they did lose a major piece. However, I still feel like their guy is there. What I mean is last year, Craig Kimbrell had to fight off Jose Alvarado, Gregory Soto, Sir Anthony Dominguez. Like, he had to fight those 3 guys off to regain the closer position. Because initially he wanted Jose Alvarado. I mean, that's fine. He does good stuff. But then he got hurt. Then Gregory Soto came in and blew for some saves. Same for Sir Anthony Dominguez. Now, all of them have good stuff. They all are flamethrowers. They're all going to, wipe you out with different pitches, but none of them have the arm. None of them have the arm like Kimbrel. So finally, he found his way back into the closer position, and the rest is history. I think Kimbrel is going to, again, be missed big time by this bullpen. However, they do still have Dominguez. They still have Alvarado. They still do have Soto. So it's not like they're losing all of their pieces. So we'll see. I'm going to want to have shares Alvarado at least. But again, we'll see how his health is. I mean, he missed some time last year. And he, again, had taken the closer position and then gave it up. But in any case, the team is going to be good. I don't know if they're going to be Atlanta Braves good, but they're good. Their offense is going to score runs like crazy. Their bats are going to be filling the stat sheets. Their pitchers are going to be limiting runs. Their pitchers are going to be getting strikeouts. So if you have any shares of their offense, that's great. But pitching-wise, Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, getting you 200-plus strikeouts, barring injury. Bullpen, going to get you saves. I just don't know who it's going to be. I assume Alvarado, but again, they wanted Sir Anthony Dominguez. They wanted Gregory Soto at different points in time last year. Well, now they don't have anyone to say, well, I guess we'll just throw him back in there. It's got to be one of those three guys, so hopefully it'll work out. Speaking of working out, there have been arrivals and departures that I think are actually going to help a lot. Arrival, Whit Merrifield, we talked about him before, and also Spencer Turnbull. Now, I don't know if this guy is going to be one of the faces of the rotation. He could get some starts here and there, but Turnbull had pretty good seasons, before injury with the Detroit Lions, and this was before they got back to being decent. This is when they were bad. So Turnbull was still turning in decent games, quality starts, wins here and there, obviously, but he could be a guy for that rotation if someone goes down. Now, they did lose some arms in the rotation. Main one being Bailey Falter. Now, you might hear that and be like, who was that guy? He started in the rotation last year, fell out of graces. Now he's with a different team, but again, barring injury, I don't think they would have wanted to trade someone who was already a starter, worked with JT Realmuto before, and had some success. Now, if you go back and look and be like, oh my God, he gave up so many runs, this third or fourth game. Okay, yeah. I didn't say he was great, but I just said he had experience in that rotation. Another guy they lost, Craig Kimbrel, saves leader, picked up some holds as well, was getting a strikeout. So that's a big damper to this bullpen, and also really hurting the overall numbers of the pitching, because he was the guy. He was the closer. He ended the game. So another loss, Rhys Hoskins. He tore his ACL in spring training last year. They kept him on the roster, and then at season's end, he was declined and able to hit free agency. And now he's with the Brewers. I think he's going to do great with the Brewers. But they brought Bryce Harper in, so then that leaves a void in the outfield. We've talked a little bit about the outfielders. Rhys Hoskins was not going to get you a high batting average, but he was going to get you home runs and get you a lot of runs and a ton of RBIs. So that's going to be an aspect for the Phillies that they have to find a replacement for, not just the position, but like that production. So hopefully Castellanos is going to put numbers up again. Jan Rojas is going to put the numbers up again. Marsh can stay healthy. They're going to have that same production, if not more, out of Bryson Stott, because, as I've said this, they have bats. Now, we don't have to talk about how good Bryce Harper is. He's going to get his. We talked about Bryson Stott being young. He's going to have to do his thing. Realmuto, getting up in age, but he's going to have to do his thing. They have Alec Bohm. He was a surprise last year. I say surprise because I didn't realize he had 97 RBIs. So, again, these guys going to do good stuff, or they did do good stuff. They have potential to continue to be great. Again, I don't know Atlanta Braves great, but definitely going to be doing well in the year, and I think they can make it to the playoffs, compete a little bit. I mean, competed enough last year, you know what I'm saying? So, that means tomorrow we head up to the number one team In the NL East, that is the Atlanta Braves. We're going to be heading to Hotlanta to talk about them. Disappointing year last year because it was World Series or bust, and they busted. But in any case, I'm looking forward to talking to you tomorrow. This is JK. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.